I, 23F. Never thought I'd be here posting this, but I genuinely have nowhere else to turn. My best friend since middle school, let's call her Maddie, 24F, has completely destroyed our friendship, and I'm still trying to process what happened. For context, Maddie and I have been inseparable for over a decade. We survived the nightmare that was high school together, got into the same college, and even ended up working in the same city after graduation. She knows all my secrets, has been there for every breakup, celebration, and crisis. I literally could not have imagined my life without her in it. Enter Jake, 25M. He started working at Maddie's company about 8 months ago. From the very first time she mentioned him, it was nothing but complaints. He's so flamboyant, his voice is grating, he makes everything about being gay, etc. I'll admit I formed a negative impression of him without ever meeting him, just based on her constant criticism. Fast forward to the company Christmas party in December. Maddie begged me to come as her +1 because she couldn't bear to deal with Jake alone. I agreed, obviously, because that's what best friends do. When I actually met Jake, I was confused. He was nothing like the caricature Maddie had painted. Sure, he was openly gay, but he wasn't in your face about it at all. He was actually really funny, smart, and seemed genuinely kind. What completely threw me was how Maddie acted around him. She was practically hanging on his every word, laughing at all his jokes, and kept touching his arm. It was like watching someone with a massive crush, not someone who supposedly couldn't stand this person. Over the next few months, I noticed Maddie mentioning Jake more and more, but the tone had completely changed. Now it was, Jake said the funniest thing today, or Jake and I are grabbing lunch. I was happy she'd found a new friend, even if I was a little confused by the 180-degree turn. Then last month, Maddie started canceling our plans. First it was our weekly brunch, she had work stuff. Then our monthly book club night, she wasn't feeling well. Then my birthday dinner, family emergency. I was worried something serious was going on, until I saw the Instagram stories. There they were, all over social media. Maddie and Jake at a concert I had specifically asked her to go to with me for my birthday. The same night, she had a family emergency. They were backstage with the band. Jake apparently has connections, arms around each other, looking happier than I'd seen Maddie in years. I was devastated. Not just that she'd lied, but that she apparently didn't even think I'd see the posts. Like I wouldn't notice? Like I wouldn't care? I called her immediately, but it went straight to voicemail. I sent texts that showed as delivered but remained unread. The silent treatment continued for 3 full days before she finally responded with, "Sorry, been super busy. Let's catch up soon." When we finally met for coffee a week later, I was ready to hear about whatever was going on with her. Maybe she was going through something difficult. Maybe she and Jake had bonded over some shared trauma. I would have understood anything, except what actually happened. "Jake and I have just been having so much fun," she gushed, showing me more photos on her phone. "He's introducing me to all these amazing people. We went to 3 club openings last week, and his friends are just so cool and connected." When I brought up the concert, her face fell for just a second before she composed herself. "Oh, that. Yeah, it was totally last minute. Jake got the tickets that afternoon, and I didn't think you'd be interested since you've been so busy with work." I reminded her that I had specifically talked about wanting to see that band for my birthday for months, that we had tentative plans, that she had told me she had a family emergency. "Did I say that?" she asked, looking genuinely confused. I must have mixed up which excuse I gave to which person. I've had to cancel on a lot of people lately. Jake's schedule is just so packed, and when opportunities come up, you have to take them. I was speechless. She had just admitted to purposely creating excuses to ditch plans with me, and apparently others, to hang out with someone she supposedly couldn't stand a few months ago. When I pointed this out, her response floored me. "Well, I didn't really know him then," she said with a shrug. "And honestly, I think I was just jealous of how confident he is, how he lights up every room." Once I stopped fighting it, I realized how amazing being in his orbit could be. I sat there staring at her. This person I thought I knew better than anyone. Was she serious? She had traded our decade-long friendship for, what exactly? The chance to be an accessory to someone popular? So that's it. I finally asked. 10 years of friendship means nothing because Jake is cooler and has better connections? She had the audacity to look offended. That's not fair. People grow and change. Jake just gets where I want to be in life right now. You and I, we've been stuck in the same routines for years. That hurt more than I can express. All those late-night talks about our dreams, all the support through hard times, all the inside jokes and shared memories, reduced to stuck in routines. I tried one more time. "Maddie, I'm not asking you to stop being friends with Jake. I'm just asking why you lied to me, why you've been avoiding me, and why you couldn't have both of us in your life." She looked down at her coffee. "It's complicated. Jake's crowd, they're very selective about who they hang out with. I'm still trying to prove I belong there. And there it was. The truth. I wasn't cool enough for her new life. I left that coffee shop feeling like I'd lost a limb. 2 weeks passed with no contact, and then yesterday, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Jake. Hey, this is Jake from Maddie's work. Can we talk? I think there's been a misunderstanding. We met for lunch today. Turns out, Maddie had been telling him that I was the one constantly canceling plans with her, that I was jealous of their friendship, that I had said horrible, homophobic things about him. I finally figured something was off when she kept making excuses for why you couldn't join us. But then I saw you commenting on her mom's Facebook post, he explained. She told me you were out of town that weekend. Jake showed me texts where he'd repeatedly asked Maddie to invite me to events. He genuinely wanted to get to know her friends. Meanwhile, she was creating an elaborate web of lies to keep us apart. We compared notes and realized just how manipulative she'd been, playing us against each other while elevating herself in both our eyes. I'm heartbroken, but also relieved to know the truth. Jake and I are actually planning to grab dinner next week, without Maddie.